Hi everyone, here we are again. And this time round, I have Jo from Discover the World. Hi, Jo.
Hello.
Hi. So for those who haven't watched the previous videos, we are currently traveling on board the Oceanwide Expedition ship Hondius on a very short trip from Netherlands to Aberdeen, and we're here to see the ship, understand a little bit the product, spend some time with expedition team, and I would like to chat to Jo because Jo has loads of experience. So tell me a little bit about yourself personally, and the company you work for and what you do. And
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was actually Oceanwide who I first travelled with about 15 years ago.
Wow.
Very, very different experience back then. Very small ship. Took about 54 people. Very basic. So coming on this ship is a huge, huge difference. So I started selling the polar regions around that time. Been to Spitsbergen twice. Been to Greenland, the east and the west. Been to Antarctica, South Georgia, Falklands. So yeah, I've been very lucky to kind of go to some incredible places. But it's really nice to see this ship because it is actually very different compared to a lot of the other ships out there. So yeah.
What stands out with your experience?
It's kind of like it's a middle ship. So you have some of the more like smaller ships that are only about 114 and are more basic, but then you've got all the brand new design ships which do have a little bit more luxury with kind of having the sauna and jacuzzi and things like that. But this is definitely, it's more comfort than I thought it would be, and I really like it. It's got a lovely feel to it, very smooth sailing, considering we're currently in the North Sea, and it's pretty calm, but we've had a little bit of choppy weather and it's felt good. So it's a beautiful ship, very comfortable, lovely cabins. The staff are brilliant. The food quality is very, very good. For people with dietary requests as well, because that's kind of quite a big thing when you are coming on a ship. I'm actually gluten intolerant, so for me they've been really good. They know who I am and they come over, they bring my food specially to me. So it's those little touches that kind of make a bit of a difference.
So how would you describe the perfect client for this particular ship and this particular expedition cruise company from what you've seen now? And obviously you also have experience of traveling with them.
I think for most clients, because you've got, if people are just interested in just having like a basic cabin, so kind of just having like a porthole, even that is still really nice as well. But then you do have like the balcony cabins, so those people who do want a little bit more luxury. But yeah, I mean, pretty much anybody, who's into the expedition cruising, wanting to kind of get off the ship as many times as possible, see all the wildlife. It's an ideal ship, definitely. And Oceanwide are a brilliant company. They've been going for many, many years now.
So with all your experience of selling expedition cruising, and what would you say are the top tips for somebody who is new to the sector and who would like to become really good at selling expeditions?
Yeah.
How would you say, where should they start?
Well, the main thing is actually coming on the ship to experience it, because it's very different, just seeing photos and kind of, for me as well, like I'd seen photos of Hondius for years, but never actually been on it. But doing these kind of mini cruises where Oceanwide and other companies now are offering at least like one overnight stay is definitely the best thing to do, because you get to actually meet the staff, meet the expedition team, have a few lectures. We're going to do a landing tomorrow, officially kind of off the ship, but some of the clients are going off to do a bit more kind of wildlife watching. But it's just having that taster really of kind of what it's all about, having the lectures where you get to find out about the knowledge of the guides, and tasting the food and meeting all the staff. So the people who kind of serve you in the restaurants and things, are so lovely. But you just don't get that if you just come on for a few hours. So it's brilliant being able to do like a little taster trip, but obviously doing the full voyage would be amazing.
Even better.
But doing the taster one's definitely good.
And for those travel advisors who probably, who don't necessarily have these opportunities, because again, I don't think there are that many around. What would you say is a good way to start? Because I'm sure you can learn a little bit about expedition cruising without necessarily having that first experience.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of ships out there as well. So it's probably a case of doing a lot of the trainings with the different companies. So they have like their online portals as well, lots and lots of information. But because also some operators will have numerous ships. So, it's kind of getting to know the ships. The cabin types, kind of also once you have seen one, you kind of have an idea then of what the other ones are like as well. Like in your head, you can imagine it more. But these are definitely specialist voyages. You know, it is, and when clients come through, if you haven't been there, it kind of, you know, can tell because you're not quite sure of the answers. So kind of having that experience is definitely for companies like Discover the World that, you know, we've been there and we can kind of give it in more detail. But yeah, it's definitely doing the training with the different polar operators and looking at their kind of online portals and kind of getting the information that way from their websites and things. So
probably the last question. So you've been to both Antarctica and the Arctic.
Yeah.
Which one is the better?
Difficult question because they both like. I love polar voyages. I love being on ships. That's my happy place. I love being at sea. But I mean, for me, actually, the ultimate place is South Georgia. It was just absolutely incredible. I always describe it as being like in a David Attenborough program. Just kind of the wildlife there is just amazing. But Antarctica with the ice, the icebergs. The first time you see icebergs, you're absolutely blown away. And Greenland's very different with the two kind of areas, the east and the west. The east is kind of very remote. There's nobody else around. But you've got these massive tabular icebergs, incredible. And then the west side, you've kind of got all the little villages and things, go meet the locals. But yeah, I mean, Spitsbergen is just incredible for the variety of wildlife. So kind of seeing cetaceans, seeing reindeers, whales, birds, like everything. But the scenery quite often gets overlooked as well with Spitsbergen, that people think, oh, I just want to go and see polar bears or walruses or whatever. But actually seeing the fjords and the mountains and the glaciers is incredible. So hard one, but overall, South Georgia is still like the ultimate. But they're both incredible. I love the Arctic and Antarctica.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Jo, for spending those couple of minutes with me, and I'm sure we'll meet again somewhere around the world. Great to share this voyage with you. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.